All right, so we are live. So we are back, girlfriend. We had a little hiatus there.
Yes, thank you guys so much. I was actually my cousins and I decided to go on a cousin trip. So what we did is we were in Boulder, Colorado for about a week, and there will be some videos soon about it. The time that we had there, it was a lot of fun. My name is Melissa Ingrid Lawrence, and the my channel is about it's a lot of the topics are going to be about what I like to call the 7 F's. So you have friends, no, you have faith, family, finances, future, fashion, fitness, and fun. And so part of that trip, hanging out with family, having fun. Yeah, it's going to be a good video. My name is Melissa Ingrid Lawrence, by the way.
Oh my God, I know you had fun. So did you run while you were out there?
I wanted to, and we even went to this one mountain. I think it was called. We went to some place called Garden of the Gods in
Mm-hmm.
Boulder, and no, it was in I forget where it was, but yeah. So we were up in the mountains. I wanted to run, but we didn't get a chance to. I have some really cool pictures though. Yeah.
So, because I was asking because I know that the altitude is different in Colorado. So, did you have to kind of get adjusted to like the altitude and breathing and things like that?
I felt it even when I wasn't running. Like so I went and I walked the dog every now and again. And
Mm-hmm.
I mean I walked the dog once, let me not lie. My cousin has a dog, I only walked it once. But Bertram. And so I went with him and I was doing like this little speed walk, and after a while he started to get into a trot. So I started trying with him and I was just like I need to come back up here and train and then come back down and just dust
Oh
everywhere.
my gosh, yes, yes. Oh, good. Yes, that whole experience, I'm sure,
Yes, so
was
much fun, so much fun. I put in so the video that'll be coming out, the cool spots that I went to and all the it's gonna be good.
oh good, good. So we will definitely be looking out for it. Hi, Sunny Day. How are you?
Hi, Sunny Day.
Yes. So I see we currently have 6 people on with us. So if you would please let us know who's on here. I want to see like who's gonna be joining us tonight
Mhm,
as we continue on with our book club reading.
mhm.
So, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Juani, and my channel here is Juani's House. And it's a lifestyle channel. We talk about everything from home decor, fashion. We do a lot of shopping, entertaining. Y'all know I love having a party. So we talk about all of that and being like 40 plus. Actually, I'm 50 plus now. So welcome to our channel. And if you have not subscribed, please make sure you subscribe to both Melissa and my channel. Melissa, I want you to can you put your channel in the chat?
I am putting it in the chat now.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
No problem.
Mhm.
So last week, your Melissa was out in the mountains, and last week we weren't here also because I was laying next to the ocean, my favorite place. So Mr. B and I celebrated our 19th wedding anniversary. I cannot believe it. I cannot believe it. So 4/24/04 is our date. And so 19 years next year is the big 20. If the Lord says so. Y'all remember that? The old people used to say that. If the Lord says so. So if the Lord says so, we will be married 20 years and we will be together 24 years. I'm like, oh my goodness, I have spent almost all of my life with that person. That's some craziness. That's some craziness. All of my adult life with him. Hey, Al. Me and Mama are here. All right. Hey, Mama. All right now. So, go ahead. You guys go ahead and if you would please give us a thumbs up if you could share us and let people know that we are here. So, want to go ahead and get started?
Yes.
All right.
So thank you guys for coming. As you know, Miss Wani said, it was up in the mountains. It was a lot of fun. I thought, I was gonna go up there, train, and come down as, Hussein Bolt. We gonna see. Um, So last week we ended we didn't get through the whole thing. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do chapters 15 and then 16, and then that way next week we'll hit 17, 18.
Second. Yes.
Get back at it. Yeah. So let's see the chapter 15. 1 second. My audio is acting a bit weird.
No problem. Okay, so while we're waiting on Melissa. Hey, Gigi, how you doing? Thank you so much for your wonderful message this weekend and yesterday. I appreciate you, lady. I really do. We are going to be making our way your way in a couple of months. So I'll be reaching out to you to let you know when I'm up your way.
Yay. Okay, we're good now. We're good now.
All right, let's go.
At the end, I'm glad for some girl time, you know? So chapter 15 is entitled How to Have Sex and Make It Great. We said last week towards the end that, you know, if these type of topics make you a little uncomfortable, that, you know, it's okay. We still love you. We'll see you next week. You know, it's about to get a little steamy, you know?
Yes.
And I think it's going to be fun. So let's see how it goes.
All right, let's go.
So the first one is the author gives advice on how to have sex and make it great. She states that if you want to have the best sexual lovemaking experience, one must deal with these questions. The first question is, why do I want sexual intimacy with this person? The second, will this encounter make me feel desirable? Third, what is the long-term goal of this encounter? Am I seeking vengeance against men? Do I like this person or am I just using him? Or is this drink, pill, snort, having sex, or am I? So I guess, you know, the author must have some people that she was, you know.
Okay.
You got to ask all the questions.
Yes, exactly. Ask all the questions.
But you know what? I think that it's also really healthy to mention because I'm not, you know, people who like revenge cheat, like that's never ever really made sense to me because it's like now you're using your body despite somebody else. You're the only one that's really getting messed up here. You get what I'm saying? Like, yeah. Like you might be mad at that person, but you're not getting your hit back. You're not getting your lick back by being with somebody else that you're not interested in.
Unless they, well, that's if they don't find out. Now, if they find out, that's totally different.
Oh, yeah, true. But then I guess, you know, for me, fidelity is a non-negotiable. That's something else that we talked about last week, knowing what your non-negotiables are. Right. And fidelity it's a non-negotiable.
Right. You know? Exactly.
Call me old-fashioned. So especially nowadays, everybody doing the polyamory. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, they doing everything out there now. So you're right.
No disrespect towards anybody that's doing it. You know, if this is what rocks your boat, if this is the way that you want to live life, all power to you. You know, you just got to know what floats your boat, and it don't float mine.
Okay.
So next, the question related to that was, are these some questions and things that you go through in your mind when you're getting to know somebody and want to, you know, get involved with them or things like that? Are these questions that you ask yourself or have asked yourself during that dating period when you were, you know, for people who are married, when you weren't married, is that something that you did?
I don't know if I thought about it. It's like, I don't know if I thought about it, but I will say that I knew if that person that I was going to be with or not, almost instantly. You know, right off the bat, and you know, and if it was just somebody who I just wanted to just hang out with, just to go out or whatever, and I didn't have anything to do. Yeah, but if it was somebody that I was interested in, I navigated those two differently. And I do, and the number 6 is the drink, pill, snort, having sex, or am I? I remember being in college. Now, so when I was in college, there were a lot of things that I was very naive about. Okay. So and one of them was like drugs. The only drug that I knew was weed. And that's because my mom always, she accused me of smoking funny cigarettes. And that's what she used to call it, funny cigarettes. Are you smoking funny cigarettes? Because your eyes look glassy. So I was always afraid of like doing that because I was always being accused of being high. And so, but when I went away to college, that's when you're like introduced to a whole lot of things. And if you're not careful, you can really get caught up. So I remember going to this frat party on campus, and it was myself and some of my dorm mates, and the girl's name, her name was Jessica, and the guy who she was dating in the frat house, his name was Justin. So it was Justin and Jessica. And so we went to this party, and all of a sudden it was like so many people. And I don't know if it was during rush or what it was, but it was so many people at this one particular frat house. And so we're in there, and my little green tail. And so I see somebody comes downstairs, and they like, Juani, Jessica's up in the attic. She's doing ecstasy. And I was like, oh no, ecstasy. So I said, we need to find Justin. So we are going all around the frat house trying to find Justin because Jessica's doing ecstasy. Now, I didn't know what ecstasy, I mean, I knew ecstasy was a drug, but I didn't know like what it was. Right.
Yeah.
The only thing I knew was that it was a drug. And so I'm like, oh, so we find Justin, and we're like, Justin, you need to go upstairs in the attic. Jessica is doing ecstasy. He says, oh no, she started without me. And I was like, oh my God.
Probably introduced her to it or vice versa. Just
yes.
Okay.
And I was so shocked. My roommate and my roommate was from the islands. And so she was shocked. I was shocked. Although she was like a year older than me.
Yeah.
She was like, okay, I don't think we don't need to be here. I think we need to go. But we did not see Jessica for like 2 days. So we didn't know if she overdosed. We didn't know. And we're like, Jessica, well, what happened? Whatever. She goes, oh my God, the party was such a great time. And da 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 da. I was like, we heard you was doing ecstasy. She was like, oh yeah, that's nothing. I was like, oh my gosh. So when it was like pills and things like that, so that's like a real like sexual type pill. Okay. So and I don't know if that you use that for orgies. I still don't know, but I don't think I know is I didn't want no parts of it. I was like,
I don't know. Maybe you use that for orgies.
Oh my goodness.
Oh goodness. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. Like I feel like, yeah, you just have to really be able to understand what is motivating you in the moment to want to do what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, I feel like one thing in particular that I was always really grateful for is the fact that my mom never really let things be like, how do I say this? Actually, I don't know. I think that might be a little oppy. I thought about it. But like growing up, like for example, if we had certain, let's say if she was drinking something or there was like some wine or something like that, obviously she wouldn't let us get drunk, but let us taste it. You know what I'm saying? And I stopped myself a second ago because I was like, wait, can I get my mom messed up for this? I was like, but yeah, so tasting and stuff like that. And I feel like that's why I was in as good of a position as I was when I went off to college, because it wasn't anything I hadn't tried before. And I really didn't have a taste for alcohol like that. So it worked out. So while everybody was drinking cranberry and Everclear and getting white girl wasted on, that's a term, I realized that could be offensive. So I'm going to take that back. That was not good. So sorry though. So people would just be laid out drunk on the street in college, like on the sidewalk, like
Oh my
laid
gosh.
out on the sidewalk. That was the first 2 weeks of my freshman year in college, and I was like, yeah, not my thing. But
Hmm.
I feel like overall, if you decide to do or not to do, it's up to you.
Yeah.
And but I feel like it is important to remember your why behind you're doing what you're doing. So
Right. I totally agree with that. And my mom did the same thing. So your mom and my mom would probably be going to jail together. And so she gave us like little alcohol wines and things to
yeah, like,
take.
like the little Smirnoff coolers, just like this,
Yes.
you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
And but my mom said she did it so that one, that I didn't feel like I had to sneak and
Yeah.
do it, and like I was doing something big if I when I got away. So
Mhm.
she just really took away my high,
Yeah.
really. And so and I was like, okay, because I didn't drink. Now
Yeah.
I did sell alcohol in the dorm though, so she didn't say nothing about that. So
Not you
that's
trapping out the dorm room. You
oh
was
my
trapping out here during the prohibition. You was trapping out the dorm room, Miss Juani.
god, crapping.
That's what they're calling now, trapping. You was
Yes,
trapping out the dorm room.
I was trapping out the dorm room. So
Damn,
Al,
entrepreneurial mindset. You figured out how to make that dollar, girl.
all the time, all the time, they wasn't gonna send me any money to go to the club. I had to. I said, "Oh,
Where
I
there's a will,
told
there's
you,
a way. You want to buy
I
some
told
of this?
you, I told you." My roommate was from the Virgin Islands. She always had rum. Oh yeah, we would serve them up.
Not me thinking you was probably making that little tub brew. Tub.
Yes.
Oh goodness.
So Al says, sex is a heat of the moment thing. I may have questions later if the night don't go right. Laugh out loud. And it is. Sometimes it can be.
Okay.
Yes, sometimes you so that's a lot of things you just don't plan for that
Mm,
happen. Then there's something certain things that you can plan for because at the end of the day, we really have all the control, pretty much.
okay.
Yeah.
Uh. Uh.
Anyone else have anything to add to that? What do you guys think about the question, um about why you may have done it. So like before you why you when you was out dating, any did you plan it? Was it not planned? Did you think about it afterward? I'm like, Al, there may have been a couple that I was like, they could have kept that. So
She said they could have kept that. And it's interesting because Al was saying that it's like a heat of the moment thing. I guess the moment never got that hot for me.
oh,
Because I shared before, I've never gone that far. So
mhm.
I guess the moment was never hot enough.
Oh,
Or,
see, yeah.
I don't know. But
Mm-mm.
yeah, that was listen, she said they could have kept that. That was hilarious. That Need to
Yes.
put that on a t-shirt. He could have
Okay,
kept
they could have kept that. Hey, Miss Von Dessa J, you knew she was coming up on here with
it.
her 3 cents. Hello. So you want to go to the next one?
Yes. So the next one is, what is required of a successful sexual union? Only that two people are of opposite energy no matter what their gender. One person must be the passionate, active, masculine pursuer, and the other the affectionate, receptive, feminine who is pursued. If you and your man are too similar in style, you will have problems. Choosing your primary role does not mean that it is a lifetime commitment. Later, when you are a committed couple, you can add variety for spice, as long as you negotiate these changes with your partner. And then, yes. So, in this, do you believe that opposite energies are necessary in order for a sexual union to be successful?
Say that again. I was reading Von Dessa. Say it again.
So, in it, she was saying that in order for a sexual union to be successful, you need to have two people of opposite energy, no matter what the gender is. One person must be a passionate, active, masculine pursuer, and the other the affectionate, receptive, feminine one who is pursued. If you and your man are too similar in style, you will have problems. Choosing your primary role does not mean that it is a lifetime commitment. Later, when you are a committed couple, you can add variety for spice, as long as you negotiate these changes with your partner. And then the question to follow up that was, do you feel like it's absolutely necessary for there to be two opposite energies, or do you think that somebody of, I guess, what do you think about what she said?
I don't know. I guess that I never really thought about like masculine and feminine energy. I do, and it just kind of depends. Once again, everything kind of depends on the moment. So, like I stated before, we kind of control what's going to happen and what's not going to happen. And I mean, if you like somebody, that's one thing. But then you also have to decide, like you said, how far you want to go with, right? So I mean, I always had like a rule, and I always kind of like felt the person out, like how they maneuvered. I'm like I watch how you move type person. And like I say, if your words match what you're saying, and because that's the one thing that can turn me off quickly, if your words aren't kind of matching what you want to see me, but you only want to see me at night. We're not doing that. Or you only want to go out. You never want to go out. You never have time to go out, but you only want to come over this time. Or you only want to come over or you want me to come over at night. Nothing ever during the day. No, we're not doing none of that. So it's just like certain things. So but
did somebody have to put you on game to that? Because there's still people out here falling for it. Like calling you only at night, or somebody only calling you during specific times, like, oh, they're just busy, or this is just the time that they have. Did somebody put you onto that game, or is it something that you just kind of peeped?
I think it was something that I probably peeped, and because I really like you, and I was like, okay, whatever. And then, well, maybe we can go out. Okay, yeah, we can go out. And I always was one, especially when you're first meeting someone. I want to go out in the daytime, and I've even like told Puda about that. I'm like, don't let your like first, second, third encounters be like at night. You need to see if suggest being in the daytime, and if they're just always not available or something in the daytime, and not unless they're a doctor, but even doctors have off days.
Doctors get Christmas.
Thank you. So yeah, there's certain things I just think that as a lady of any age, not even a young lady, any age, I think even if I was dating now, although I would not know how to date now, I'm so antiquated, but I will still be the one to be like, yeah, we can meet in the day or whatever. Let's go on day dates, and there's plenty of things to do in the day.
Yeah, it's open. That's normal business hours.
Thank you. Thank you. Hi, Stephanie. Stephanie says, hi, she's late.
Thank you. I mean, I appreciate to see you. I missed you last week.
Yes, we did. Stephanie says she started paying attention. Yes.
Listen, now, hopefully your husband's doing well and everything. I definitely kept him in my prayers. We just finished up with the last one, so I'm gonna move on to the next one if it's good. She then touches on the following topics: sex without love. She was saying, as a woman, it is essential to be in control of who makes love to you, so you can feel safe and so that you can feel open and safe. As a receiver, you have complete veto or no right, which is where all the sexual power resides. Sperm is cheap, eggs are precious. When a woman allows herself or is forced to become sexual without love, her self-esteem drops, and she helplessly believes she is not lovable or desirable to good men. With little self-esteem, she often compulsively seeks validation through more promiscuous sexual contacts, believing that giving good sex will keep her man. It doesn't. As the age-old saying goes, men give love to get sex. Women give sex to keep his love. There are men who are quote unquote feminine, who are masculine. Wait 1 second. There are men who are feminine who give sex to keep love, and there are women who are masculine who give. Jesus, why is this moving around?
Who get?
Oh, and there are women who are masculine who give love to get sex. Which are you?
Oh. Ah, goodness. It probably depends on the day. And it depends on like who it is. There, but you have to remember sometimes there are situations and there are times when you just, you just want to, you may just want to have sex. And so it's not for no particular reason. I've known, some of my friends, and they're like, I just want to get my, I'm sorry, they just want to have sex.
We already warned everybody. We already said that this was for kids. You know what I'm saying? Little Jimmy and little Johnny on here. They need to go watch Power Rangers.
Yes.
Or put on some Dragon Ball Z. It's fire. They should be watching that anyways.
Yes. And so I think that I don't know. I think it kind of depended probably on the person. And that kind of can sway, how am I gonna be? Now I am definitely not I don't have a masculine personality. I'm not like a pursuer. I'm none of that.
Oh, so you guys are like, hey boy, your curls
you're looking good in those jeans.
Run me your number.
Run me your no.
Honestly.
That was not me. That was not me.
How awkward that even sounds. I don't even know how to do it.
I know. Okay, yeah.
Folks, that girls don't have to have game because we're pretty. Guys have to learn how to have game to talk to girls.
Yes.
Do you think girls have game? Women, do you think women have game?
Oh, definitely.
Yes.
Yes. Who said that?
My brothers are saying that it's cap.
Yeah.
Translation, they're saying it's false. False news.
Oh, what? That women have game? They don't believe it?
They don't believe it.
Really? See, that's good. We want them to think that.
Let them think that. We run the
Yes,
world.
we allow them to think that.
We're gonna keep it silent on this one.
Yes.
But
yes.
And then she was saying, so the next one goes, did anybody want to come up and talk?
So Stephanie said she said, yes, I must admit I had a sex buddy. He understood the assignment. See? And you see. And so, okay, so this was the thing. Because Mr. B had a sex buddy. Oh, see, we talk about everything. We talk about everything.
I feel like that's really cool though, that you guys have that type of open relationship, because leave it to the author. She said, don't tell me about none of your sexual experiences from the past. She said, trust me, don't do it. That's what she said.
So yes, we do. And so when I turned him down the night that we met, he had I almost want to say he had an appointment, but he was supposed to go and meet up with his sex buddy. And so I used to ask, and when he told me, I said, so how that work? I'm like, how did that work? And he was like, he said, if things would have went down with you, I would have canceled with her. And I was like, well, first of all, that would have been a waste. Well, I'm glad you didn't waste your quarter, because nothing was going down with me.
She said, this is not a vending machine. Keep your quarters in your pocket.
But yes, so when he left me after we had breakfast, that's where he went.
Then you say y'all was up till like 3:00 in the morning?
Uh-huh. That's where he went. Afterward, after we ate, that's where he went.
I gotta my bedtime's 9 o'clock.
Oh, no, huh?
Okay. Maybe there's something a little different in the water back then. I don't know. People going to sleep early nowadays.
Meditra, hey, I'm finally caught another live. That's my girl. How you doing?
Nice
yes, welcome. She says, Al said, I had a female friend who had a masculine energy, and she gives sex to get love. Wow. See? And wow. So she's one who believes that, because some people think they walk around with a pot of gold and everybody's just, they like Lucky Charms. What's that? You just can't have one? Yeah.
That's a Pringle.
That's a Pringles. That's a Pringle, Lucky Charms. Just a Pringles, right. So I'm just like, but I do know a man who has sex to get love.
Okay.
And so, but he also he falls in love very, very easily.
Um,
So, uh-oh, I call him back. Um, yes, he falls in love very, very easily. But yes, so that part, I'm like, you know what? You that's not a good look, dude.
why is that? Why
Why
would
is what?
that be a good look for him to give sex to get love? I feel like if you were to meet up with the right person, that would be great.
But first you have to find the right person. Everybody's not the right person.
Oh, that's true. He's probably out here getting his heart broke every other week because he thought he
Every other week.
really swore he found his wife every week.
Every other, I mean, oh my goodness. Literally on Facebook last week he was in love. Oh, and he putting all these emojis and he jumping over to me falling in love again. And then today she was trash. Women are
Oh,
crazy.
he the one that breaks up with them?
I'm not sure how it worked. I hadn't. Okay, I'm gonna tell y'all what I did though, because Juani can be a little bit messy. So
Okay.
today I sent him a text message. I said, but after I had saw all the other stuff that he was because he was in love a couple of days ago. Today he out of love, and I said, oh, congratulations on the newfound love. He probably
He was like, new number, who this?
okay, really, we not gonna do this with you. I was like, okay,
Listen, that's
okay. And so let's see. Yes, I have. Oh, Sunny Daisy. She's been married for 26 years. Go on, lady.
congratulations. That's amazing.
That is okay. Vandessa. I'll call it Splackville. It's only me and him with no relationship. It is understood that it's only us and no outsiders, as it should be.
For real. Listen, and it's not just emotional, it's practical for safety too. So you now people waking up with things they can't take penicillin for.
Thank you. Thank you. Gigi says at one, was it love or lust for him? You know what? I honestly believe that he thinks that he thinks that he's in love, I believe, but he doesn't give it time. He just doesn't give it time. He won't take my advice.
He believes in love. He believes in love at first sight. Like
He believes in love instantly. Instantly.
listen, but then you hear the stories where it works for some people.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I don't know anyone like that though, that's still married or anything, but I'm sure it's probably, I know it's happened. But yes, so when we talking about, those different types of people and relationships, it's interesting to think about how many of them actually like last. Do they go, if it's sex to get love, do they actually get love or love to have sex? You know, mm,
Listen, that sounds like something to look into. That's all
yes.
to look into. So the next thing that the author goes into is the kind of sexuality. She was saying that there's essentially two types of sexuality, and that the two basic forms of it that people technically usually fall into. And the masculine sexuality is comparable to a staircase, and the feminine sexuality is comparable to a wheel. So I was just like, a staircase and a wheel. I was like, this metaphor about to be something. I was just like,
Okay.
she pulls out of her hat. So for the wheel, she said this type of sex is preferred by feminine women or men who tend to be relationship oriented and are not in it basically for physical gratification. It is described as a wheel in which every action in the relationship impacts on her sexual experience. Basically, what happens is that things likely to affect that person's emotions are likely to affect their sexual experience. Examples are the tone of his voice during a phone conversation, whether he was late and why, and the look on his face, whether he seemed bored at dinner in the restaurant and eager to run home for sex, whereas the masculine energy drive usually isn't as affected by things like that. It moves straight ahead, directed towards orgasm and release. So it is important to communicate so that both can get their needs met, because it is easy for him to get his needs met while you, one second, please. Yeah. So whereas the masculine sex drive usually isn't as affected by things like that, it moves straight ahead, directed towards orgasm and release. So it is important to communicate so that both of you can get your needs met, because it is easy for him to get his needs met while you feel like a sexual object for his pleasure.
Okay. Now, so for this one, although I don't agree with a lot of stuff the author says, as we've discussed in chapters.
I feel like I should, this whole time I should have been keeping like a tally or something, how many times I'm in agreement. But I like it though, without a little,
Yes,
it's fun.
Yeah. So with this part, I do agree, because I'm definitely, in this instance, I am, according to her, I'm definitely feminine.
Yes.
Yes, because all those things matter to me. And when it was saying the tone of his voice, I have one of my girlfriends, simply by the tone of the voice, she knows if she's gonna, oh yeah, I like him, oh yeah, I want to talk to him, oh, it's like a certain like baritone that she just loves. And so a lot of people, like, she's one of them who kind of dates online, but when she talks to them, regardless of how much they may have piqued her interest, texting or however they do it or whatever, that sound of his voice is going to be the determination if she's going to meet him or not. And she was like, oh no, he didn't sound good on the phone. That was the end of that whole relationship. He could have been a great guy, but no. So when you said that part, I was like, oh my God, that is so her. But definitely everything about this, certain like mannerisms, like when I told you about when Mr. had got out the car before me, that right there,
Sitting there looking at him like, listen, I'm getting the driver's seat. Obviously, I came here by myself.
Obviously, we came here by ourselves. That one right there, that was a turn off. So yes, definitely, I'm definitely feminine. I want to be treated a certain type of way. I want to be spoken to a certain type of way. And even like certain, you see like certain situations now, where certain words are just made okay, like women being called bees and this and that, and that's just part of the vocabulary. That's not cool.
Yeah, no.
That's not cool. So yeah, those types of things definitely will be a turn off for me. And but once again, I am Generation X.
Mm-hmm.
Your generation is totally different. So a lot of things that were not okay with us are okay with you guys. And like a lot of the things that we thought were taboo, you guys are like, nah, that ain't no big deal.
I feel like, and that's why whenever you say or like remind me that I'm Gen Z, I'm just like, that is true. But a lot of just like, I feel like I hopped in a time machine. And it's like, especially when, like I'm out and like I'm just kind of meeting people, because I'm super old fashioned. People just like, I feel like the code word for it is that I have an old soul.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but I wanted to go backwards a little bit on what you were speaking about in regards to your friend and the whole voice thing. It's real. And I completely understand. I get where she's coming from. Not me. I don't know, Melissa. You're hilarious.
I know.
Absolutely hilarious. But so it's the voice thing. Like there's this one guy I was texting with back and forth, really witty. It was funny. It was going back and forth. And then I sent a voice note. So there's the option on a lot of the dating apps where you can send like a little like voice note message to the person, and that's how I do most of my communicating, because I don't got time to break my thumbs writing 25 paragraphs.
Yes.
So we just gonna talk. It's gonna be maybe 2 minutes. Actually, lies, one was maybe like 13 minutes, but you listen to it all. So there we go. So so we're there, and yeah, talking to him. He sends a voice note back to me, and I'm like. Like it was the same content.
Yes.
But just like the sound of his voice, for me, it's like if I don't like the way your voice sounds, I don't want to listen to it.
Yeah.
You know, like I want to, I wish it didn't sound as shallow as it does, but it's just or just like superficial as it does.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
I gotta want to listen to the sound of your voice to listen to you want to talk to me.
Right. Right.
It affects the message.
It affects everything. And then think about, look, what if he had a squeaky voice and you're having sex? Hey, baby. Over there. No. No.
She said, "Nah, player." She said, "It's not you, player."
Yes. So I'm wondering. So, ladies, what do you guys think? So, are you the type of sex? Are you like more feminine, or are you masculine? Masculine meaning, you know what? I'm in the moment. I want to get mine. You better get yours, and then we can go on and have our time. So, what do you guys think about that? I haven't had anybody on here, so I'm going to put the link in the chat. And remember, I'm gonna have you guys. You're gonna have 2 minutes. So, because y'all know how we are. Mr. B say we're a bunch of hens. So when we get going, we really get going. So I want everybody, if you come up, we're going to give everyone 2 minutes to say whatever they want to say. And then we're going to keep it moving. All right. So here is the link. Oh, wow. So we have more people on here. And let's see. Our girl V welcomes everybody. Andrea, I wanted to show this. She says, yes, open all my doors. Yes, open all my doors. And even like when Mr. B and I go out and I see people watching us, watch me. And when we go out, when we go inside the door, I stand to the side. I get up to the door, I stand to the side, he opens the door. I don't care if I get to the door before him, I'm gonna stand to the side. And I see people and they're like, yes.
Ms. Juani, do you want to hear something absolutely hilarious?
What's that?
I feel like I have these like epiphany moments where like, because I'm the kind of person, weirdly enough, my default is to make things more complicated than it needs to be. Like my natural processing chooses the most difficult route. So sometimes, like especially back when I worked at Starbucks, there's one guy named Dylan. He always found the easiest way to do everything. I'd be like, Dylan, help me work smarter, please. I was like, my mind is so working like that. But yeah, so in my mind, I overcomplicated the whole like letting a guy open the door thing. Or I was like, how am I supposed to get this done? I'm like, what do you do? And I realized I was just like, okay, if you want him to open the door for you, walk with him, but walk a little bit behind him. He's going to get to the door. He's going to open the door for both of you guys. Me, you know, I'm gonna run in a track star. So I'm like, I'm at the door. You just getting out the car. I'm like, what's going on? Or like, you know, how do you, you know, just like different things like that. And I realized it got so simple, especially when like one time I got to the car with my brother and I asked them recently, can they practice it with me so that I can get in the mood of it so that I'm not as awkward when the real time comes. You know what I'm saying? So I get to the car door and I'm standing there and I'm waiting. And then Edgar comes and he opens the door. Like I'm standing at he goes into his side, but then he comes back and he opens the door because I'm standing there waiting.
Oh my goodness.
And I thought in my mind, I was just like, no, like that's like, but no, like it's simple.
It's simple. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, this is my big sister. Hey,
Bernadette. Hey, Bernadette. She's like, oh my God. So Stephanie says, face blue smiling, face red droopy eyes, face
emojis.
Those emerge. Oh, okay. See there. See there, I'm like, oh, that's what you're doing, all of that. Okay, that was definitely a Generation X moment. Sorry.
I figure I help you because you was gonna read that whole thing. No, let me save you some time.
I'm like, because in my head, I'm thinking, so is he doing all of that? He's turning red, droopy. What? So yes,
like she was like, we talked about a wheel and a staircase. When did this come into play?
This come. So Sunny just says, open my door, take my arm, hold my hand, all of that. That's right. Because you have to kind of train men how you want to be, treated.
Well,
And that's anybody, but especially like people who you are dating, and they'll kind of know like what like you said, your non-negotiables. You verbalize them, but you verbalize them non-verbally, so they can kind of pick up on like some of your cues.
Okay, like the subliminal messaging.
Yes, you give me that look your mama gave you.
True. The one where if you were sitting in church and your back was turned to her, somehow you felt it up your neck. You
exactly. Felt it. Yes. Go ahead.
And then the next
what Sunny Dad says, I'm sorry, Al. It depends on the day and how I'm feeling. We know Alan already told us, because once she put that walk on them, it's a done deal.
That once she put that walk on them, ain't nothing they can do.
Yes. Meditra says, let a man be a man, but treat me like a lady. That's right.
There you go.
One more. Go ahead. I'm gonna put you on hold. Go ahead.
Okay. And then the next one, yes. I'll read your comment, Miss Stephanie. Yes. So we get the look when I stand to the side for the car door and any door to be opened. Yeah, and I think it's because like people are getting rid of like gestures aren't meaningless. Like gestures for a reason. And I remember when I was sitting in the car with my siblings outside of Walmart. We pulled up to the Walmart to get like one thing from my mom, and then a conversation started, and we was just in there talking for like 45 minutes. And that's why my mom let me send this all out at the same time. But and we're talking, and I noticed through the corner of my eye this guy, like he was kind of like this, walking like just like look into the parking lot. And I was like, what's going on? I was like, should I be looking? And then and he was walking with his girlfriend, and I was like, William, is there something going on? He was just like, nah. He was just like, he's being a guy. I was like, what do you mean he's being a guy? I was like, how have men do this? He was just like, if he's supposed to protect you, he needs to be looking. Yeah. The guy you with isn't looking. Yes. Now for y'all. That's right. I thought about it, and I was like, do I scan the area when I walk? I just walk. I think, my mom always says that God protects babies and fools, but I look both ways when I cross the road. But like that, I'm not necessarily scanning the area to see things, which I'm thinking, go get a man, Just go get a man. You're so funny. Just put one on retainer. At least now I got brothers for now, so it's working. Yes. So something else that the author suggests is she suggests as advice on how to broach the conversation of getting sexual needs met is to let your masculine man know how wonderful it feels when you and he plays with the wheelhouse of your senses, touch, tasting, smell, seeing, and hearing, on the way to intercourse and orgasm. This will give you greater pleasure because you will feel cherished as a human being and not an object to be used. Another way the author offers is to encourage your man to speak to you affectionately and or sweet talk. This is a great suggestion because feminine energy sex partners love sweet talk because they fall in love through their ears, while male energized men and women fall in love through their eyes. And I thought that little excerpt was really interesting because, you always hear people say that like men are very visual. I was going to say that. You think about the whole love at first sight, it sounds more like something a man would do than a woman would. And the example that just came to mind immediately is when Eve was in the garden the enemy was able to get to her by what?
Mm-hmm.
That slick talk in her ear.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is that with a lot of women, especially, I mean, I guess I can only speak for myself. It's easy to let your imagination keep going because, like,
we think a lot.
We think a lot.
We think a lot, and we romanticize a lot.
Yes. And the thing is, as a woman, especially because we know that like we're reproductive beings, that like saying like similar to soil, like we bring forth things. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So like thinking about it as a woman, you gotta be conscious of whether or not somebody's trying to farm you, plant seeds.
Yes. They're
trying to plant seeds, they're trying to farm you. I'm gonna call it that. Don't be trying to farm me with your words.
Oh my gosh.
You sitting there trying to so like they ain't no harvest here for you, player.
Oh my gosh. I can't with these metaphors. Farm you, because I literally was like, farm you? What?
Farm you. They planting seeds.
I got you.
Oh, it goes
oh
in,
my
gosh. In your brain, and then 2 conversations later, you think to get married. Oh. I'm telling you, you hear the story. A girl goes on a first date with a guy, and then by the end of it, they getting married next week.
In her head.
In her head.
In her head, right. Right.
Seeds. You gotta watch out if people trying to farm you. Don't get farmed out here.
Just laughing. I'm like,
I'm telling you, I just thought about it as I was talking to you. The whole movie played out in my mind, and it made sense. I was like, "Don't be trying to farm me."
Oh my goodness, I can't.
One thing, and another thing that the author stresses as being of the utmost importance is the way that you talk to the man as you're expressing your needs. She emphasizes that women speak politely and not critically about his mistakes. Criticizing a masculine man can cause him so much inner pain that he cannot hear what you are saying and will often react defensively or run away. But you don't avoid having this conversation because of your uncomfortability. You are the feminine energy who chooses to be cherished. You need to protect your sexual feelings, not his. Doing nothing when sex is not bringing you pleasure means it will go on indefinitely. It will cause not only feelings of being taken for granted, but resentment, frustration, and anger, which can be damaging to your relationship. You will best do this just as Patricia and Lori did. Patrick and Lori did.
Mm-hmm.
I was about to say, I was just like, Patricia and Lori. I was like, this is
okay.
Patricia and Lori.
Yeah.
Yeah. So by asking permission to share your feelings. So there was an example in the book where they used Patrick, and what she did is she expressed her feelings by it was one of those like the pump and stroke technique that she used like from the time before, where she let her know how she was feeling about it and suggested some ways that it could be fixed. I feel like it made more sense because let me see if I can pull it up. Because I realized we talked about Patrick and Lori last week. So having that right after it would have just kept going. Essentially what she did is, she affirmed his ability to be able to pleasure her and things like that, while also talking about things that she liked. So it ended up working. And another thing that she mentioned is that if he won't talk, leave him. It means that he is too selfish to be with you. If he listens, speak I feel statements, not you are wrong statements. Especially tell him what you don't want, i.e. uncommitted sex, polygamy, rough sex, a slam bam, thank you ma'am sex. I love when she put that. I had to I actually put it in quotations.
I was like, oh my. Yeah, thank you, ma'am.
And I feel like the cool part and what I took from this was how to be able to have uncomfortable conversations, because I realize at times, because I value my peace so much, I'm working on being able to have uncomfortable conversations.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Is crazy. On Judy, hop on.
We know she cray.
He already said 2 weeks ago, I just need to throw the book.
Yes, yes.
Oh goodness. Wait, is the link in the chat to be able to come up?
Yes, it is, but I'll put it there again. I do believe that it is very important for both parties to state what they like or whatever. Because it's very important, especially for men, I think, because sometimes men seem to think that we all built the same, and what worked for one person gonna work for the masses, and it's not like that, because there are just certain things that just does not work. And so there have been times, like, some people are really sensitive around like their breast area.
Mhm.
I'm not her. I'm not her. So Mr. Beast would be like, so what's wrong with you? That work on everybody else, because I'm not them.
And then not everybody else. You're not bringing everybody else into the situation right now.
How about that?
I did not sign up for polygamy. That's not what I signed up for.
Yes, but I'm like, but that does not. So it's very important to be like, if that doesn't work for you, say that it does not work for you. You can't be afraid not to that you're gonna hurt.
Communicate, yeah.
Yes, you need to communicate.
Yeah.
And so and so you have to, and start that early, because I don't believe in muffling your thoughts, and then you'll start muffling your feelings, and then you become resentful. So when she started talking about being resentful because of the other reason, I'm like, no, you become resentful because you don't feel like you have a safe space to vocalize how you are actually feeling in a situation. I don't like this, or like I said, that may have worked for her. It does nothing over here. You are aggravating me, dude.
She said you was trying to get to the finish line. You're moving backwards, buddy.
Yes, you are. So yes, we do. We have to be able to communicate. Al over here, she was like, at Judy, yes, she is. Yeah, we know. Question: I have a friend who is married, but her husband has an issue. Okay, what's his issue?
That was a statement.
Yeah, that was a statement. Oh, see, everybody's like, what's the issue? Oh, ED. Oh.
You know what? That's something that she kind of grazes over a little bit later.
So Al says that's because men really only got two moves, and if one don't work, they try to. We need to communicate with them. That is that, and that is so true. That is so true.
I feel like the cool thing about what you're saying is that you're taking ownership over your experience. You're not just allowing somebody to give you any experience that they want to give you. I think it's sane. It sounds sane. Like, it doesn't sound like a wild thing.
No. And especially, because that can just like totally ruin a mood and everything else. So yes, you need to be able to say what it is that you need. Oh my goodness. So ED is something totally different. Now it depends. Now if this is your new boo and he having issues, I don't know how y'all gonna get over that, because you don't even have nothing to kind of flashback to. So I don't know.
I guess it's just, like what you find important, because there's some women who really claim just not to be sexual people. So
and well, I don't know any of them either.
She said, where are they finding these people? Where are they getting this information?
I can't speak on that. I don't know anyone who's like that. So what do you guys think? What do you guys think? What do you guys think about the ED and the non-sexual people? I'm gonna put the link here. Are we having nobody coming up on the screen with us today? Excuse me, tonight. I'm drinking my Pepsi. I'm sorry, y'all. So Maditra's like, oh my goodness. You guys are so funny. Y'all have been very active tonight. Thank you. I want to thank all of you guys for coming on here and joining us in this. Like I said, we hadn't got to that part. So we still at the slam bam, thank you, ma'am question. So none of you guys, they don't have any. Oh, here we go. Deal breaker. Meditra say that's a deal breaker. But so no ED. Meditra is not gonna try to work with the ED. She's like, She
But guess what, right? There's some women, as I said before, who aren't super sexual. So, like, as my mom says, there's somebody out there for everybody.
Oh my gosh, wait, 10 years? Okay, so but they've been married prior to that. That's not me. Like, my drive is up in the clouds. She said they hadn't had sex for almost 10 years. She wants to step out. Well, okay, so
is for better or for worse in sickness and health. Did that include that?
now that's the question. I'm sorry. Okay, so that's a long time to just not. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how much caressing a person.
I'm just asking. Because I think it's a really good conversation point to bring out. I thought it was good because as soon as you said that, I was like, but in your vows, I was like in sickness and health, for as long as we shall live till you know what I'm saying? I'm like, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, is erectile dysfunction covered in that?
Because there are just certain things that I think that people need to. Okay, not that you have to be intimate all the time to have an intimate relationship, right?
Yeah.
But there are some times that you really need to connect to have an intimate relationship.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know. I think there might be something in there. It's in the little dark writing at the bottom.
Between the lines?
Yeah, between the lines is in there. I don't know. She says, let me see. She says they had sex for almost 2 years, then problems started.
Okay.
Meditra's like, is that a sickness? Well, that is a sickness.
It's a sickness. Yeah.
It's a sickness. Oh, but Bernadette not having it. Bernadette say he gave that. That's She's not doing that.
No, that's actually like a laughing thing. Like people like dying laughing, so they put.
That's what that is. There we go again. That's a Generation X.
Listen. Look, we're both sharing. You guys are sharing. We're sharing. Listen, y'all gonna be Puda gonna be like, did my mom just send me a skull emoji?
There is. She's gonna say, Mom, where you learn that at? I was like, Bernadette showed me.
Somebody sends like an emoji of a coffin.
Oh, that means you're dead.
I'm like dead.
I am done.
So, as we're talking, you see me go like this a couple times. Like in my mind, that's what that means. I'm dead. Like you just killed me with what you just said.
I'm good. Oh my, Bernadette, don't laugh at me. Don't be over there laughing at me. Don't be calling Millie and say, Millie, oh my God. I can't believe you have that old woman on there.
But you know what? I want to give my sister a shout out. You know what I'm saying? Thanks for coming out and supporting tonight.
Yes, thank you. Yes, it is due to high blood pressure and medications.
Ooh, if you say that, I'm going to put it like this, right? Okay. About 80% of disease can be helped, even to the point of reversed, with proper diet and exercise.
Mm-hmm.
So if the ED isn't something that you just could not control, for me, that's not like a choice then. Because high blood pressure to a certain extent, like if you're not paying attention to your health in that way, and I'm not saying that that's the case for everybody, because there are certain people who have certain predispositions and things like that, which I completely understand. But to a certain extent, would it then, or I guess I'll pose the question then: is that something that would be something that happened to somebody, or would it be something that they're allowing to happen then, if the ED is caused by something like that?
But if they have to take the blood pressure medicine because I've heard that a lot of men don't want to take the blood pressure medicine because of that reason, right?
Okay.
So And then the other thing is, then they end up stroking out, and then they can't do nothing anyway. So,
oh yeah, you know what's hilarious? When I was taking my EMT training, they gave something called nitroglycerin, and
mm-hmm,
they told you that you had to ask people, especially men in their 50s, if they were on Viagra, if you were giving it to them. And
mm,
that's because the way that it works is it makes your arteries and your vessels like expand. So,
mm-hmm.
but that's also what the nitroglycerin does.
Oh
So
my God! So it can blow up.
no, it's the opposite.
Oh,
There be too little blood in your body to pump around for the size of the vessel. So it has to
oh,
be tight enough for the blood to be able to pump through. So if you do too many vasodilators, they'll still be the same amount of liquid, but not enough space for it to pump through the whole body.
mm.
So their blood volume would bottom out and they'd die. So they were like, you have to ask them. And it's hilarious. There was this one like little sketch that they had us watch so that we could keep that in mind. And there was this older guy who's dating a younger woman. He's in the ambulance, and the EMT asked him, "Sir, are you on any help medication, Viagra, Cialis, anything?" He was like, "No, I don't need that." He's looking at his girlfriend, and she was like, "Okay," And then so the guy goes, he asked him 2 or 3 times just to make sure, and then he goes to inject it, and then he's like, "Whoa, man, that's great, because if you would have, this thing surely would have killed you." Because the guy smacked the syringe out of his hand. So apparently, I was just like, that was hilarious. That's why I'll always remember it. But yeah.
Yes. Sunny Day says, take care of yourself and get him to walk it out with you together.
Yes.
Well, I guess he better be excellent at the other girl. Meditra.
She said, it ain't if or. You know what I'm saying? It ain't.
It's not one. Look.
She said, as long as you get the job done, player.
Oh my goodness. Oh, he had a stroke and that happened. See?
Oh, well, that's, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's something that there's no way that he could have controlled that.
Oh, she's not getting anything. I feel sad now. See that, Meditra? My hubby and I both have high blood pressure and both had strokes. And he still looks at me like, look at you. That doggone ass, she done told y'all. I think she needs to go to the doctors with him. And she probably does. And I think and I think, because I think maybe sometimes, one, men don't like going to the doctor. Secondly, when they go to the doctor, they never tell like everything. Because when I used to go to the doctor with Mr. B, I was asking all kind of questions. And what about this? And he was like, oh my goodness. Because a lot of things I sat and I kind of figured out myself. So he calls me Dr. Basin. But I was like, nah, but that's why this happened and that's why that happened. But I always ask those questions. So I do agree, Al, that she does probably need to go to the doctor with him and kind of see if there is something that they can do about that. They might can lower the dosage, or who knows, maybe he can get Viagra, Cialis, or whatever. Okay, you know what? See, Bernadette playing with us. So I don't know what that is.
Oh, it's just like it's kind of like this too. Like you're melting into the floor because it's so funny.
I can't.
Next thing you know, she gonna put a UFO, a 7, and a 4-leaf clover.
A UFO. What is that? No.
I'm joking.
Oh, okay. Hush.
And a seashell, a feather, and that's so Raven. But never mind. So,
here is Stephanie. Hey, lady.
Hey, I got tired of typing.
Oh, no problem.
Okay, here's the deal. They've been married a while, and at first the sex life was on and popping anywhere, anytime. Anyway, you get it. And then she found out he was taking his blood pressure medicine less and less so he could participate. And because he wasn't taking his blood pressure medicine, he had a stroke. All right, so now after the stroke, they kind of almost doubled his blood pressure medicine because of the stroke, and now it don't function. No matter what she does, no matter how she plays, nothing. And she said he asked her and begged her not to step out on him because he was going to find a way. But in the other hand, he's not doing anything else to please her. So she looks, when they go to bed at night, she looks at him, she's angry. Why are you in this bed? Why am I here with you? She's angry because she's not getting sexually satisfied. And now she's thinking about stepping out because she's been chatting with this guy online. And she says it's like a booty call situation. And she just wants to have that physical contact.
You know what? It's interesting. So, according to the author, which was just a couple sentences up, she was saying if he won't talk, leave him. It means he's too selfish to be with you.
Well, see, that's the thing. She talks to him. She says she tells him she needs attention. And he told her that he had to get mentally prepared for it. So she said once he said that, she stopped asking.
But then again, I don't, like that's kind of what you signed up for in marriage, though.
But you don't sign up to be starving for 10 years.
No. That's not what I meant. What I meant by that was that's kind of what you sign up for in marriage, where it's not, if you wanted to be able to just be like, no, I no longer want to please this other person. Once you get to that point, that's not marriage anymore. You know what I'm saying?
True. Because, yeah.
Like, you learn, if you want to be with this person, it's an active choice that you're making every day to do what it takes to do life with this person. So just shutting off your mind to wanting to do something that would make that other person's life better, or to add joy to that other person's life, something that only you, by definition of the agreement that you set up, can only give to them. That's selfish.
Yeah, they did do a diet for the blood pressure. They even went to a doctor to see if there were any other ways. Mm-hmm. And she said that the doctor gave him this medicine that he has to inject in himself. And she had me laughing. She said he went in the bathroom to inject himself and told her that they were going to do something at night because this medicine worked. The doctor did a little bit, and he got a little feeling. And she said he was in the bathroom for almost 2 hours because he was scared of needles and scared to inject himself.
I think you're on mute.
You're on mute, Juani.
Oh, have you been talking this whole time?
No.
Okay.
No. So wait, so he had to inject himself in the private?
Yes.
Oh my.
Yeah. And
too.
he doesn't like, she said he doesn't like needles. So he sat in that bathroom for almost 2 hours, and she said she just gave up and went to sleep. And he come out and told her he was sorry. He just couldn't do it. And she said, well, you want me to help you? And he was like, no. I'm gonna figure out a way. And she said she stopped asking. And he did at one point attempt to buy some toys, but they used the toys, she said, twice, and that's been it. I don't know what else to tell her.
Even with the toys, after a while, you still want the touch of a human. That's only gonna last for a certain amount of time. I don't see, the thing about that is, with me, would be that you don't know what's out there. You don't know what's out there. So if you do go out there, you don't know what that's gonna be like. And
that's true.
I just but then think about this. What if because once again, we are we're excuse me, my eye was itching. We are not mental. We are all about, like, we're in our head, right? So when she go out there, she meets somebody else, she started digging him. What if she fall in love?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think
So
You're emotional.
I told her to think about that before she made that step, because that step can lead you two different ways. It could
Mm-hmm.
lead you to he find out and put you out, or you fall for the other guy and you go the other guy and you leave your husband and the other guy ain't nothing but just wanted sex.
Mm-hmm.
So I told her, you could be left out any way it goes. So you need to think about this and really be sure before you make this step.
Yeah.
That is a hard one. But Al says maybe it's not physical, maybe it's mental. My hubby was so mean after his stroke, and he had no idea he was doing it when when it came up with the codes to help deal with his anger. When I don't understand the last part, Al.
Yeah.
Maditra,
Oh, maybe it's we came up with some codes to deal with his anger.
oh, you came up with
Okay.
codes. Okay,
Okay.
okay.
Good
I
job,
met
Brittany.
an older man,
Corner.
78 years old.
A
Look at
prosthetic. Come on, teacher.
Maditra. He had to pump it before he needed to start his excitement. He asked if I wanted to see it. I should have done what? I should have to do research. And you know what? I was going to say something about that because I know I had a girlfriend um younger in my younger days. She was dating this guy and he wasn't endowed, and actually he had been married before and his wife divorced him because of that. And so
Ooh.
she had told
Why did
him
she
that,
marry
huh,
him? Why did she marry him?
I don't know, they think they had like 2 kids and he could produce. I don't
Yeah.
know. But so my friend said to him, you know, that he needed to take care of that because yeah, it was an issue. He was a nice guy and you know did whatever, and that could have been the reason. But
So why do we always as women start off with he's a nice guy?
he's a nice guy.
Yeah,
But 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 so she suggested that he go and get the prosthetic. And so, and he did. He did because he thought that it would keep her. It didn't. So, but you know what? I never.
what?
I think I believe I.
Obligated to stay now.
Hmm?
You're obligated to stay now. He done got a whole prosthetic. He done changed his body to be with you.
Mm-mm.
Or
They didn't stay together,
oh,
and I don't know how it was afterwards
uh-huh.
because we lost contact. But yes, so but he did.
Mhm.
Seriously. Oh my goodness.
Goodness.
Benitra, I'm just like, yeah.
I am so glad I'm doing this with y'all because y'all got all the stories. All the stories.
Girl, who I'm sure your aunties on here could probably tell you some
Listen,
stuff.
I'm trying to. That's what I'm saying. Come on.
Mm-hmm.
The link's in the chat. It would be good to hear from you.
Yes, it would be.
And good to hear your stories. You guys have
Mhm.
you guys have the best stories.
Yeah,
All of you guys, all my aunties have the best stories.
yes.
Um,
Yeah, I got all the stories. Yeah, yes, they got all the stories.
and then she was like, oh, so the next part, the past revisited sex problems are faulty premises that women may have learned that need to be unlearned for a healthy, pleasurable, and long-lasting sexual relationship. And the first faulty premise that a woman needs to unlearn is that if I give a man sex, he will give me back a commitment. Wrong. Masculine men do not give back a commitment for free sex. Masculine men give commitments when they are required to, by women who don't need a man but prefer one in order to add to their already functioning lives. You don't give back sex until you negotiate the give back commitment from him. The author makes sure to mention that if you are a woman who chooses to be the masculine energy, please practice sexual integrity with the men you have pursued sexually. Sensitive, feminine energy based men do give back sex and commitment to strong masculine women who pursue them by giving them sex, money, and status. Most men, whether feminine or masculine, logically believe in their ability to think clearly. So they risk a great deal when they find they have been used as sex machines by unscrupulous women. This thoroughly undermines their feeling of adequacy. Feminine women who become aware of their being abused feel undesirable and unlovable, and often resort to binging on food, drink, drugs, and casual sex to mask their pain.
Mm.
What are your thoughts?
She said a lot.
I think I could really, I'm speaking for myself, I feel like I could put a period at the end of that.
Yeah.
I feel like she hit it all.
Yes, I do. I believe I do agree. That's two things I've kind of agreed with her on.
All in one book club.
all in one, all in one. This chapter here, she did a little something, just a little bit. Yeah, I kind of agree with everything that she says, but I do believe like it can be both ways, because there are some men who have been used, because there's just some men who are just like the bomb.com, and that's probably what they're known for, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And so and then and that's the one thing, how some women may lead with sex. I think a lot of times you can kind of tell that, because some men can lead with sex, and that's the problem, and that's what they think that your ear is attracted to, because they think, because and men are like really sexual, and so that's they think that turns us on. That's like when well, I don't know if you've received any, but I hear people who get like penis pics, because people think they think that you want to see that. They think that's supposed to turn you on, girl.
Miss Juani, my eyeballs right now. I literally had to turn off my AirDrop. AirDrop is this system where people can send things from one phone to another without having to text, email, anything like that. It's Bluetooth sent.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to change the settings on my AirDrop from everyone to contacts, because when you are on AirDrop on your iPhone, you can see the other people that have the AirDrop if it's on everyone. So I got like unsolicited pictures, because I guess the guys would see my face in the profile picture and thought that was shooting their shot. And I was like, oh no, we gonna change that right now.
Oh no.
So the unsolicited, yes, unsolicited.
Yes.
You know what's the wildest part? He didn't even have my phone number.
He didn't have your phone number?
You don't have to have the person's phone number to AirDrop.
And so what they thought you was, so how did you connect to them? You touched the picture?
No, you just, they send you a notification that somebody's requesting to AirDrop you.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're like, okay. No, actually, no. Yeah. So I said, okay. So I was like, all right, okay. And then it shows that person's picture and then what they sent. So if you wanted to AirDrop them back, you would just go to AirDrop, find their picture of the same person that sent you the message, and then send it back.
So is that a solicitation?
Just nasty. Exactly.
Just nasty. Girl. Yes. Stephanie said, girl, I was asked for a pic. He sent me a pic of his business unwanted. Thank you. No, we don't want to see that. So now you got your junk just floating all over the internet. Just everybody.
What really runs through their mind when like a guy, when like a girl likes it? I'm just like, what? Like, does it make you feel good to just be objectified without without being known? You know what I'm saying? Like,
but maybe that is to be like, okay, yeah, I'm with this.
Okay.
Maybe. I don't know. But listen, I just think
we're here to learn. So
I know we still don't have any men on here. I would love to hear something like that.
I'm working on it. I'm doing my best. I'm working on it. I'll be stopping random guys and talking and stuff like that. And like random people. I've been getting out and being a bit more social. And so as I've been away in just different places that I've gone, I'd start striking up conversations and everything like that. And I'm looking for the guys. I got a lure out there.
I can't with you,
all the
Badija.
time. At least they could get. She said, "Respect my phone."
She
Please.
said, at least make it look pretty. I can't with you. Don't be showing everybody your stuff. Exactly. Don't be showing everybody your stuff.
Listen, the valuable stuff on this earth is hard to find. You don't
Yes.
see diamonds laying on the street. Okay.
So now you're gonna meet somebody, and when you finally see it, you're gonna have to go to your phone and start matching it. Is this you? Is this you? Is this? Have you been on it? That looks like it. That is not cute. She says, I told a girlfriend of mine she shared an adult movie and the pic was from there. I told a girlfriend of mine she shared an adult movie. Oh, she did a video, a movie, and the pic was, oh my.
Okay.
Oh, so the picture, so it wasn't actually, it was from that. I got you now. Okay.
Oh, okay. Listen,
Mhm.
so my mom had told me this story where somebody she knew was asked about like to send a picture of themselves.
Mhm.
And so they sent a picture of this
Mm-mm.
cowboy wearing jean shorts, booty cut jean
Uh-huh.
shorts, and his back turned, and he's wearing a crop top, and he was not fit. It
Oh
was
my gosh.
very uncomfortable.
Stephanie says no, his pick was from the movie. Oh, so he was in the movie. Oh, so he was in a.
No, it
Oh.
wasn't actually his. He sent
Oh,
it
okay.
to the movie, I think.
Right.
But then how
No,
did
his pick was from the movie. So he was in the movie.
I'm confused.
I think that's what she's saying.
There's two very likely possibilities.
Yes, it is. It is. Okay, go ahead.
And then the second fault that a woman has to get, the second faulty premise that a woman has to overcome is that sexual virtue is passe. Wrong. Men don't fall in love with your vagina no matter how great a sex partner you are. They may fall into sexual addiction, but they will not fall in love, which by definition must be the total you, mind, body, and spirit. Historically, parents, churches, and culture have attempted to teach virtue, but with the advent of birth control, the sexual revolution, and women's movement, the precepts seem outdated. The result was that society rebelled against virtue and began to indulge in spontaneous casual sex, only to rue it the day after. The author states that I believe that virtue is synonymous with personal integrity. How honest we are with ourselves. A woman or a man who honestly says, I am not interested in a committed relationship, I only want some fun, has, to my way of thinking, integrity, but not spiritual virtue. The man or woman who acts seductively and suggests the possibility of a committed relationship in order to get sex lacks integrity and virtue as well. These people are dangerous. They sexually use gentle women or men who once burned made themselves become cynical users of others. She also adds, your intuition will tell you who the users are. Either get a commitment or get away.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I felt like a book slammed at the end of that one. I was just like, I would love to hear like what the thoughts are on that. Cause I was just like, cause I feel like a lot of times nowadays people like tiptoe down the middle of the line when it comes to a lot of things because they don't want to like ruffle feathers.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like it would be interesting to see, especially because of like the way that she said it. Yeah.
Yes. V, what you have to say?
Melissa, if you're going to tell my story, tell it right, okay?
You know what? You should have been on here to tell it.
But let me tell you, what I actually do, I use it as something to teach them a lesson that a man should never get to know their sex or what their sex feels like before they get to know them. So when I was dating, if a guy, like I had pictures on I was dating online and I had pictures up there, and a guy would say, well, I see what you look like in other clothes. Send me a picture with a swimsuit or bikini on. And I was like, okay, so I know I don't need to date to get to know you. So I had this running picture in my phone with the guy with a Daisy Duke. with hair on his leg and chest.
Uh-huh.
And cowboy hat and cowboy boots. And I will send that to whoever asked me that question. I send it to them. And
Uh-huh.
then I block them.
Yes.
So I wasn't, my heart's desire was not to put my mama's business out there if she didn't want it out there. So my mom's friend told me.
Uh-huh. Yes.
No, I was good with it.
But what happened with that was because she read him. She already knew what he was interested in. It didn't, and he didn't really want to get to know her. He was just trying to see what her body looks like. Because what did we say? We said men are visual, right?
Yeah.
So he was, yeah, that was, yeah.
Yeah, and listen, I guess she knew she wasn't gonna talk to him again, so she sent him that picture and kept it moving.
She sure did, and kept it moving.
And he couldn't even respond after he get that picture.
Exactly. That
It
was
went bye.
Bye.
So go ahead.
And then the next one, casual sex is a good way to get to know someone. Wrong. Casual sex is a way to lower the anxiety of anticipation. The anticipation of romance, union, and competition can be so painful that getting over with it becomes more important than intimacy, slowly and carefully built. Is sex the bloom or the roots of the relationship? I believe that sex is the bloom, not the roots. The roots must be deeply planted into compatibility, communication, and friendship. When the relationship grows out of sex, it can become an addiction between incompatible, uncommunicative, unfriendly people who need the sex hit, not the intimacy. But when sex is the bloom and the roots are grounded in true human erotic love, it can last through the peaks and valleys of life. What do you think?
Wow. Casual sex. Now, there is a caveat.
She said, it's between the lines.
It's between the lines. Because there are some people who can just be casual like that, and they don't want a relationship and they're just trying to, get theirs or whatever the case may be. And it could be like some shielding of and trying to protect themselves, or it could be situations where the guy, because usually it's the guy, because men really they never want a relationship, because it's always, I believe that they are afraid of what they think they might be missing out on. So they don't say they want a relationship. So women are kind of may feel like that they have to be like, well, that's not what I want either. I'm just cool with it, and in hopes of them being intimate, and then she just like rocking his world. I think you will be going into it in the end, and you're gonna have a broken heart because you've already set the parameters, you've already set the standards. So you were good with him being like, well, this is not what I want, and you still went along with it instead of being like, no, that's not what I'm looking for, or that's not what I want. We good and we can be friends. Now, if you're just that girl and that's all you want at the time, and you just want to see what it's like, that's one thing. You grown, you can do whatever you want to do, but know that what he said and what he said is exactly what he meant. So don't think that you can go in changing his mind. He told you what he wanted, and that's what you need to hear. I said that before. Listen to what they say, because they're actually telling you how they're feeling.
Exactly. And exactly like you were saying before, you can't change anybody, and you can't change somebody's mind.
Right.
So, and yeah, you're setting yourself up for heartbreak, because more often than not, people are gonna stick to what they said.
Yeah.
But
and they were like, Mom, you knew what it was. You knew what it was.
So in my mind at times, I see like little like movies as people talk. So you were just like, Ma, you see what it was? You're like,
yeah, and that's how it was. Ma, you knew what it was.
I feel like that's why I laugh so much, because the movies in my mind, they're hilarious. So the next the next thing that needs to be overcome in the woman's mind is that casual sex is a good way to get to know someone. She was like, when I read that one at first, I was like, what about, hey, how you doing?
How about that?
How about that? Because I thought about it. I was just like, do people really think that casual sex is a good way to get to know someone?
No. Because then when they come over, y'all get together, that's all it's going to be. Then he gone. You ain't learned nothing about him. Only thing you know is that he drove a red Altima.
You get what I'm saying? I'm like, okay. So I was just like, that's a little funny. Let me see what she's doing here. She's saying wrong. Casual sex is a way to lower. Oh, I think I read this already. Okay, cool. So 4, all I need to do is have medically safe sex. While it is always smart to be medically safe while having sex, there is no condom for your heart. I was like, bar. I was like, that's a bar. I like it. Listen, I'm gonna use that one. In a relationship, sensitive women and men also need emotionally safe sex grounded in their being known for who they are and heard for what they want. It is not uncommon for women who try to resist casual sex to find themselves either seduced. I'll give you a commitment with the guy saying that I'll give you a commitment someday, but not today, or intimidated with guys saying you're not being fair to me or you're lucky to have me. By someone trying to talk them into sex. The time and energy it takes to withdraw and heal from a bad deal can be just as destructive as many sexually transmitted diseases.
And I agree with that. I totally agree with that, especially when, once again, women, and it's easy for guys to go from one relationship to another. And I think that because we are more in tune with ourselves and our emotions or whatever, we end up on the end of the rough end of the stick. You know what I mean? And so, so yes, you cannot be so casual with yourself, and you also have to remember when I believe when you are intimate with somebody, you have like soul ties, your souls, and you don't want to be tied with everybody, because you don't know what spirit somebody done been with, and they dropping it off over you, and then you start talking and twitching and don't know why you twitching.
Levitating off your bed in the middle of the night. What's going on?
Yes.
Oh no, like I feel like I wonder, because I've heard different varying things. Personally, I believe that soul ties are real, but I wonder what other people think. Are other people in the chat thinking that soul ties are actually a thing?
That's a good question. What do you guys think about soul ties? Do you think that they're real? Do you think it is an emotional thing? What do you think? Here we go in the chat again. Sonny, what would he think of me if I do my thing? Is what I think of myself. Yes. Yes. Come on, Juani. Them soul ties are a real thing. Girl, oh my goodness. Aren't they a real thing? I tell you.
Tell us if you'll tell you.
Let me tell you. Oh my God. So before Mr. B, I tell you this, and that's on probably another, because he was younger than me. Yeah, he was younger than me. But if I tell you, I woke up out of my sleep, I thought he was still there. I was like, this is some crazy mess. I never called him back. He called me. I went answer the phone. I was like, I don't know what kind of voodoo you have done, but I was like, oh no, dude. I went and got some sage, and I saged, because I have never had that experience before. I literally jumped out of my bed and I turned around like 3 times.
Tell a story. I feel like I got dropped in the middle of the story. I need a little bit more around the story, because I need to visualize. I told you, I see the movies in my head. I'm trying to be there with you. So what, you were laying in bed And then what? You just kind
I
of
was asleep.
you were asleep, and then what happened?
I woke up out of my sleep because I felt like he was still there.
In your bed?
Yes.
Like, what you mean? Like, you felt like he was still there? Like, did you like see like an image of him?
No, I just like I felt
Like you sent his you sensed his presence or something?
yes, like he was still in the bed.
Oh yeah.
Yes, yes, and I jumped up and I turned around like 3 times, like what the heck? And I was like, oh no, I don't know what you've been with, who you've been with. You done left something here. We gonna have to.
Listen, I don't know. Seems like I'm gonna have to go talk to Mama because you must have been smoking some of them funny cigarettes.
Girl, no, that wasn't what I wasn't. Maditra says yes, it's real. Not everyone deserves your cookies. Exactly.
True.
I do. So yes, I definitely believe in soul ties.
Facts. I do as well. You know, something that, you know, my mom always said is that touch brings feelings.
That's right.
You know?
I agree, Ingrid.
Have to be selective, yeah.
Yeah.
And then number 6 is once I'm in a committed relationship, I don't have to continue my sexual courtship style.
Wait. Al says, girl, pre-married, younger guy had my nose wide open. I used to call his job every day. I had to wean myself off of him. See, I thought that's probably what was going to happen because, girl, I would probably be outside his door. Hey, baby, I got paid today.
That's what she says. She says that's why it only makes sense to have sex in a committed relationship because of the way that women bond.
Girl.
Like,
because that was some stuff.
Women move halfway across the country with a guy. Yeah. Men don't be doing
that. No, they don't do that. I was like, I was
like, oh no. Other countries. Women will leave their country and go to another country to marry a man. You know what I'm saying? Like the bonding hormones, like the obsession.
Yes.
That's why, like, for me, I'm like, knowing that that's the risk. Listen,
girl,
I'm gonna get married and do it.
That scared me.
Listen, I got goals to accomplish. That's like something that's gonna throw me off course.
Yes. I totally. Yes, dealing with the wrong person. Yeah, that scared me.
So done. They done took your soul. And listen, when I was in college, the things I saw some girls do was all I needed. It was birth control.
Oh, I'm sure.
Because I was like, girl, the stuff that you're putting up with, you wouldn't let nobody do.
Girl,
y'all could keep that. And then number 7. No. Number 6.
5.
Yeah, it's number 6, I think. No, it's number 5. You're right. I can fix my partner's sex problems. Sex or problems along with financial problems. Sex problems are, along with financial problems, one of the most obvious symptoms of inner turmoil. It is grandiose and presumptuous to assume that you can fix someone's sex problems. You can work with a partner or a client. You can work with your partner or you can work with a partner or a client if you are a therapist. Okay, but you cannot fix his or her problems.
That's true. Okay.
She said, period. Next one.
3 things she did. Okay.
And then, did we have anything?
No.
She said, no, you can't move around. Number 6, once I'm in a committed relationship, I don't have to continue my courtship style. Wrong. When one person switches sexual courtship styles without negotiation in mid-relationship, it can be very threatening to the other person. Most women are turned off when their aggressive masculine style man certainly turns passive in bed. But it is not only women who turn off. Sexual aversion to impotence are becoming major problems for men these days. They are turning off sexually to narcissistic women who want to be respected for their ideas and also cherished for their feelings. Men who turn off don't want to be a drone to a queen bee, so they sexually shut down as their way of not cherish her with sexual pleasure.
Okay, so what y'all think about that? I don't have a comment for that one.
I thought, how could you really just kind of throw that on somebody else's shoulders? You have to give the man some responsibility too, because nobody told you to date her. Like, as you were dating her, you got a chance to see what she was like. So if that's something that's going to make you act this way, you need to be responsible enough for your own self to know not to date somebody like this.
Sunny Day just said, simple, plain and simple, he got to go.
He got to go.
He has to go. Yeah. Thank you. Dinner's here.
Hey, Mr. B.
Yeah, who that?
That's Millie.
Hey, Millie.
Hi. Hi, Miss Juani.
Look like he brought us Chinese food.
Ooh, what we eat when we order Chinese food?
And he went to pick it up because I didn't cook. I had an emergency with my mom, so which was why I was almost late. But so I didn't cook today.
Wait, but what's your order? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Oh, that's what you asked me. Oh,
yeah.
He just got some fried rice and like some sweet and sour chicken, I think.
Okay. All right. I'm partial to, barbecue spare ribs from Singapore.
Yes.
Rice, you know what I'm saying? I got to order. I got my order down pat.
Yes. Wait, Sonny. Oh, so he had to go. Okay, he got to go. And Al wants to know why he having problems.
For me, it's the emoji face.
Thank you. I know that emoji face. Yes,
that emoji face always kills me whenever.
But Deidre said, "Hey, babe." He said, "Hey." Yes.
So for me, I got what you were saying. I think that's what Al was saying, which was that, especially the section you hear where she's saying it's not only women who turn off. Sexual aversion and impotence are becoming major problems for men these days. They are turning off sexually to narcissistic women who want to be respected for their ideas and also cherished for their feelings. Men who turn off don't want to be a drone to a queen bee, so they sexually shut down as their way to not cherish her with sexual pleasure. And I'm like, but you're still getting sexual pleasure, so why would you be petty and not just leave if it's not doing it for you sexually?
Yes.
Does the train of thought make sense?
Yeah. So what is he? But obviously he's getting something out of it though. But I don't believe. But see, I don't know. Do men actually turn off from sex?
I know it's not that they're turning. Oh yeah, she just said impotence. So
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or is it punishment? Or it just could just be he just not attracted to me because people grow apart. Mm-hmm. So or he's not attracted. It's something because it goes back to the whole visual thing. And then but that comes to the part where you have to keep things interesting. So is it boring? Is it, or is it one-sided?
Okay.
Calls late at night. Yes.
Oh,
Al's like, nope.
She said he got something. I wish he had one of those little buttons, the little sound, because I hear it he got to go.
He got to go. Yes.
And then the last one of her things that you should forget is that, or things that women have learned that they sometimes have to unlearn, is that masculine men like women who share sexual initiating responsibilities equally. Wrong. Most masculine men do not like sexual initiating responsibilities to be shared. They want to be sexual aggressors and they want their feminine women to respond and give back. However, both individuals can share equitably in the sexual area if they can negotiate preference. She suggests that if you are a feminine woman who wants to initiate sex with your committed partner, you say, "Honey, sometimes I look at you and I just want to start making love right then. Would it turn you off if I approached you like that?" I had to put it in there. I feel like I know certain ones because I love your reactions. Your reactions are hilarious. So I feel like I put little Easter eggs in there for you. And
Yes.
I put in bait for everybody else too, so we can get the discussion going, I feel like, but Miss Juani keep me rolling, so.
Yeah, y'all know how I feel about asking for things. Yeah. The whole asking for permission, the whole asking to be feminine, the whole asking to be
asking to live.
Yes, it's just asking to live. I'm like, my goodness. I do you always have to do a little stroking of the ego and whatever, oh, you smell good, and go and like kissing behind his neck. But I'm like, but I do believe sometimes, you gotta let them know that, how Mr. B say,
it's about that
time.
time.
You thought that the bag that the bag was empty, and I reached in that corner because you never know what to expect, and I pulled out something out that bag. I don't believe there's nothing wrong with being a little bit assertive sometimes. Now, it depends on what you like, because some men like you talking dirty to them if you know how to talk dirty, but y'all know I don't know how to talk dirty. So
Miss Juani, you naturally have like a Southern belle, like flow when you talk. That thing, I was just like, okay. It became more like pronounced. I feel like towards the beginning of this, like, you were kind of like, like news network, you know what I'm saying? Where you could have been from almost anywhere. And I was just like, yeah, she was really feeling that last part.
Okay. Yes.
And then
Ingrid, haha, who talks like that in real life? Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, oh my gosh.
I have to say this because I think it would be hilarious. I wonder if that's part of the reason why we're running into all the communication issues that we run into, because we don't speak like this.
What?
I just have to ask, because I think I want to get your take on that. Is it possible that because our language is so convoluted now, we have so many like slangs and just colloquialisms and things get lost in translation? So do you think that communication on a whole would be easier and just like more effective if we did speak like this? Like, it sounds alien, but you completely get the point, and that's why you're just like, dang, why you ain't put no sauce on it? Like that thing ain't got no flavor. Like,
it had nothing.
Like, oh my goodness. Like, what you doing?
it is almost so clean. I want to be like, what? Is she speaking another language? What? I mean, really, I think it could be more appealing. Like you said, put a little sauce on that, and it might be something unexpected. You never let them know. Yeah, that whole thing. Now I do say honey sometime, a babe or whatever, but all this other stuff. But she leads with honey. And then it's almost like she's asking for permission. Y'all know I have a hard time with that. I just have a hard time with it. I'm trying. Better take me as I am or move on. Role playing can be an option. Yes. Exactly. So, and that's what I don't believe. So when I see that, okay, y'all, we have to remember that this was in 1983. Mm-hmm. So we are probably dealing with, what are those? They were the baby boomers, the June Cleaver times or whatever. So it's a whole lot of stuff that they didn't do. Y'all remember Lucy and Ricky didn't sleep in the same bed for years. I don't know how little Ricky and the other baby came about, because they never slept in the same bed. But
that's true. I never thought of that.
Well, how did they do that?
Look at that.
So, and then they had twin beds. So did the other one have to go to the twin bed, or did they put the beds together and then after they separated them again? How do you do that?
That's how they kept each other fit. You got to put your
pushing the okay, yeah. So when some of the things that she may say, because once again, people, I think they had to be very careful about how they phrase things because they didn't want to seem like they were loose or that type of a woman of the world. You know what I mean? So, but now, no, I believe you saying how you feel.
Yeah.
Yeah. Say how you feel. The honey, yeah. But well, honey, sometimes I look at you and I just want to start making love. Nah, you look sexy right now. Let's go.
She said, "Say it. Say it with your chest.
Say it. Yes.
Your whole chest."
Oh goodness, you guys are hilarious.
And some of the techniques for undoing sexual damage. She was saying that at times it can be due to impotence, but there are techniques that she offers for undoing sexual damage. She said, an excerpt from the book says, sexuality is a bonding element in a relationship. Your last sexual experience forms the basis of pleasure for your next experience. When sexual memories of the last encounter are good, it forms the baseline foundation for the next encounter. When negative memories are formed, especially for men, sexual aversion or stalemate follows. Miss Juani, can you take over? I need to get some water.
Okay. And they all fall out of love. A way to increase comfortability with one another and develop the art of lovemaking is through an exercise she calls sensate focusing. Number 1, set aside at least 2 hours when no interruptions will occur, either at home or at a hotel, in a bathtub or a hot tub or jacuzzi that can hold 2 people. Okay, she might be on to something right now. Okay, so we setting the stage. Okay. Number 2, lock doors, disconnect phones and beepers. Check. All right, she might be on to something now. Don't talk at all during these 2 hours. Only body language can be used. Talk is a left lobe intellectual activity. Making love is a right lobe nonverbal activity. The male energy person will bring finger foods for each to feed the other. A tape or record, a tape or record, or sensual music without vocals, candles and incense, writing paper and pen or pencil, powder or oil. This exercise may seem clumsy at first, contrived or artificial until you feel the pleasure. Hopefully, you will enjoy the experience so much you will learn to do it for yourself, not just because it is a helpful technique. So, what y'all think about that? So she pretty much saying, get together and you kind of set the mood and to be with your partner, whatever the case may be. This could be cute. And I think we probably have all done some form of this. You guys remember? I don't know if y'all remember. What have you ever? Maybe that's the more proper way to phrase this. Have you ever probably in your younger times when you were dating and you had this image of like what that your date was gonna be like if you had something at home and you had the music playing. Y'all remember the movies and they would go and dim the lights, they would light the candle, they have the music playing, you hear Barry White in the background, love you baby. And then I don't know why Barry White seemed to be like the voice that everybody wanted to be with, or some Marvin Gaye. Girl,
turn
yes,
off the lights.
yes, turn down the lights. What? Turn off the lights. Yes. Oh, yes. That Teddy Pendergrass.
Now,
Did
Teddy
y'all have that in the background? Or
I saw pictures of him recently. Teddy Pendergrass looked good, and he looked good for now. He looked good for then. He looked good for anywhere. He's just gorgeous.
He was gorgeous.
That man was beautiful. There was this one picture that I saw of him where he had this like big fur jacket on, and he was kind of just standing there, and I was like, I like that.
Yes. Al said, set that mood, Juani. Girl, I'm setting that mood. When you thought you was doing something because that's what you thought you needed to do to set that mood. Yes. So yes. I mean, I don't know about the nonverbal thing though, because I want to hear what you're thinking. So, but I mean, I guess it could be. That's almost like one of those games where you can be dressed like in something seductive, but you tie them up and they can't touch you. Oh, you don't know nothing about that. I'm sorry. Cause you looking like, really?
You know what's hilarious though? I was thinking through my memories, like, let me think.
Okay, you're like, really? Maditra says, set the mood, even had mood CDs. Okay, fruit and chocolate. Girl, yes. Yeah, see, they remember. So
Yeah.
yes. See, I don't know what the young people do now. Where Bernadette at? So now she want to get Ghost. She don't have nothing to say now. We need her up on here.
She said ghost emoji. Hey, Bernadette. Oh, she's on the phone.
Oh, she's on the phone?
Yeah, she's on
talking
the
to
phone.
your mom. Oh, okay.
So wait, what did you just say a second ago?
What, turn off the lights?
No.
Set the mood. Fruits and chocolate. I was talking about Maditra.
Oh, no. So the reason why I was laughing a second ago was because I was following you and you had me so engaged that you really had me thinking through my memories for what I used to do. And I was like, I never did nothing. I was like,
yes, I was
sitting there like,
yeah, you like, she was like, no, I hadn't done that. No.
But you know what? It's interesting. Like, am I like, for example, like if I'm in a dream and like I am maybe like making out with a guy or something like that, I realize all my dreams stop like just before I get to like anything. But then, and then one day I realized that I was like, oh, I ain't never done nothing, so I ain't got nothing to reference.
Girl, because that's why yeah, exactly. It said Maditra or ice. Okay, now see, yes, girl. Yes. You
okay.
You don't know nothing about that either. Cut that smile out.
Sometimes I will ask the questions. When the time comes, I will ask the questions, because when you look at it in previous generations, they weren't going to like pornography or anything to learn about this stuff. They were going to people in their lives to learn. Like girls would ask women who have already done it. Like you look at in Caribbean culture, there's something called like they're called like first moon parties. So it's when a girl comes of age and she starts being able to have her menstrual cycle. One of my roommate in college was from St. Croix, and that's something that her family did with her when she came of age and she had her period. They had something called a first moon party where all the women of the family got together and introduced her into womanhood and explained to her what was going on with her body, what it meant, and like what that next stage of life would look like. And all the women got to share their experiences. And I was like, I lost out.
Yeah, you.
But I'm thinking, right? That's something dope, though. That's something dope, though, because similar to this book club, we're sharing this information that was found. We're talking about it amongst ourselves, and now we're gaining wisdom, and now I'm gaining wisdom, and we're also sharing experiences, and we're learning from one another. This is great.
Look at you. We're giving you your first moon party.
Look at that. I got it.
All right. So it's 9:00. You want to start winding down?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, we still have more stuff to talk about, but we can just pick that back up next Thursday.
Yes, we can.
I mean, this Thursday. I always get that mixed up. This next. I'm like, just say the date.
Yes, the next one coming up. So go ahead.
Thank you guys so much for ladies and gentlemen, hopefully one day in the future, for coming to the book club tonight. This was a lot of fun. Thank you for all the funny comments and for the support. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so we can get more people in this book club and keep it popping.
Yes. And I want to thank all of you who come back week after week. Sunny Day. Maditra finally came on. She found us. And welcome, Ingrid. And then we have Al is always here, Vandessa. And who else is we have here always showing up? in the crew. Aunt what's Aunt name again?
Aunt Judy.
Aunt Judy. I want to call her Joy. Your Aunt Judy's
Well, she is a joy, so that's good.
Yes, yes. So thank you all very much. So we'll be back.
Oh, don't forget V.
Oh yeah, her too.
Oh my, the way she
She knows I love her. Yes, and
Oh,
V is always on here.
As soon as you said that, I looked over and she was looking like this because she mopping. She like.
So yeah, so join us back here next Thursday, 7:00. So it's normally 7 to 8. So we ran over today, but I think tonight's conversation was very funny. I think we learned a lot and we shared. I want to thank Stephanie also for always showing up and always participating. She always has some comments for us to expound on. And so thank you very much. I really appreciate you guys stopping by. So if nothing else, guys, make sure you share this. You know someone who likes this or like these types of book clubs where we're just talking. We're just some girls. We talk about real life things. This book, like I stated, was one that Melissa chose. She's the Gen Zer and she's trying to get out there and navigate dating. Now she chose the book from 1981.
You know what I realized? I realized that I did what I always. I feel like I did what I do for most things, and so I was just like, I'm about to start dating. Let me do some research into this. And then I came across this book.
Yes.
So I'm the kind of person, like, whenever I'm curious about something, a way that helps me stay grounded while I'm doing it and not get anxious is about everything that I have to do in the whole task is doing research about what the thing is. Because the more I understand it, the more I understand how to navigate. So the more information I have on something, the more comfortable I feel at times. Now, of course, I can't have a scenario for everything, pre-plan for everything, but having a general understanding of what's going on makes me feel more comfortable. And so I found this book and I was just like, okay, this is cool. Let me share it with Miss Juani. Look at all of this. I found the Bible for dating. And she was like, and she was just like, okay. She was like, all right, let me check it out. Let me read it. And I was just like, it gets juicy. It's really good. So I was like, we should do this as a book club. And then she got to reading it, especially the first couple chapters. Listen, I thought somebody was going to find her because she was telling somebody business. Especially with the one girl that was calling him at his job.
Yes, that was funny.
Was showing up at his apartment, was pushing through the door to go try to fight the girl.
Yes, that was like, wow. Yes. So yes, it did began to get very interesting. And then we began to disagree. So yeah, guys. So like I stated, we'll see you guys next week. And same time, 7:00. Thank you again for coming on. You guys have an amazing week. Have a great week, Melissa.
Have a good week. Good night.
Good night, y'all.